Thanks for joining us today. I'm Dr. John O'Keefe, breakthrough specialist and host of the television show Celebrity Entrepreneur, the show that creates tools and ideas for you so that you can be successful in your business. We also interview successful people and organizations that'll give us the tips and tools they've done to be successful so you can be too. You know, Harvard University has the reputation of being the top university both nationally and internationally. Harvard Business School has that same stellar reputation. Today we have with us Tom Dean and John Howell from the Harvard Business School Alumni Association of Orange County, the HLS Leadership Series. They're going to tell us about some opportunities that can be good for you to create success and tell us about what they're doing. Thanks for being with us today. Tom and John,
thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Our pleasure.
So Tom, before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I graduated from Harvard Business School with my MBA in 1985. I went to work for the biggest mall developer in the Northeast. Then I came out west, back to California to build the Disney corporate headquarters. I did that. I worked on the retail entertainment centers for Disney. And after that, I went on my own into affordable housing as well as investment properties. It's been a long time. It's been a long cycle. I've built a lot of affordable housing, and that's very busy right now. And the investment opportunities in commercial real estate are excellent as well. So I'm very busy with that. And I've also been on the HBS AOC board for over a decade.
Wow. And John?
Well, I started out in financial services in New York City in the early 80s at the Bank of New York. Through a couple of other iterations, I ended up getting recruited into Citigroup. Citigroup actually is the one who sent me to the Harvard Business School, to their executive education program. Came back and ran a series of businesses at Citigroup, and then about 8 years ago decided that I needed a change of lifestyle, so came out to California to run a company out here, which I subsequently sold. Bought another one, sold that one as well, and sort of looking for sort of my next opportunity since I've been out here.
You know, information from two gentlemen who are incredible entrepreneurs, and so let's get into the Harvard Leadership Series. Tell us the history of HLS.
Well, HLS is part of the HBS AOC, the Harvard Business School Association of Orange County, which has been around for almost 3 decades. And it's been a very active club. For 27 years, we put on the Business Growth Conference, which was the biggest Harvard alumni event in the world. So that was huge. And for 22 years, we put on HLS, the Harvard Leadership Series, or its forerunners by different names. So we've been doing this for a long time with a lot of different people over the years. We've changed the name from the Management Networking Breakfast to the Harvard Leadership Series this year. We did that because, first of all, we wanted to have Harvard in the name because of, as you mentioned, it's such an august institution. And we brought in leadership instead of management networking breakfast, because leadership is what Harvard's all about. We're not looking to be administrators or managers.
Right.
We take that as a given. Leadership is the ability to inspire and to take people to new levels. So the Harvard Leadership Series, the series talks about the idea that this is repetitive in a good way, and this is something that you really need to be involved with month after month.
You know, and I understand, I was reading some information, and I heard that it looks like 97% growth in a very short period of time.
We're up 97% year to date this year versus last year. And we're very proud of that, but it's also based on execution, really blocking and tackling in terms of growing the mailing list, from tripling the mailing list almost. That was one of our stretch goals, and here we're halfway through the year, and we've almost attained that entire growth concept of tripling the mailing list. We're blocking and tackling in terms of marketing, better write-ups, quality control on the speakers, and really building the community within the idea that when people come to the website, when they sign up, between the time on the website and by the time they come in the front door at the physical event, as well as leave the physical event, that's when they're ours in a good way. And our goal is to make that time as productive and enjoyable and value-packed as it can be. And we manage everything along the way. When people sign in, we have a very professional sign-in. We have the networking for 45 minutes, and then we have the breakfast and self-introductions, as well as that's followed by the speaker. And then Q&A and networking post-event as well. Along the way, we're trained. We talk to the other board members, as well as John and Mark Wilser and I and Linda Boudiab, who the 4 of us run this series. Whenever we see someone who looks uncomfortable, a first-timer, someone who you like to meet some other people? What do you do? All those simple questions that really make people feel at home, and that's really part of the community. And we'd like to think that's what leadership is in its own right, pushing your own agenda and also advancing other people along the way consistent with that agenda.
You know, that's fantastic information, because think about that. First of all, I want to say 97% growth. You know, a lot of us entrepreneurs, we talk a lot about growth, and sometimes you hear that negative news that it's tough to grow any kind of situation or any organization. But take heed of the example that Tom and John are talking about. When you're focused, when you're dedicated, you can create those kinds of large leaps and growths. So, Tom and John, tell us about what are you trying to accomplish with the series, and who are the targets that you're trying to focus on?
We really balance between the attendees, the speakers, and the sponsors. The attendees we talked about, it all starts with the attendees having an excellent experience. The speakers, well, if we have bad speakers, the attendees are not going to have a good time, or we're not going to attract the people to begin with. But we work with the speakers too. We have an august group of speakers in their own right, but we also work with them to make sure that their talk is topical, enjoyable, and really fits the needs of our audience. And then we also have sponsors, Kenobi Martin, Olson and Bear, the huge intellectual property law firm. They're our club sponsor. We have Global Capital Markets, Greenberg Traurig, TriVista, Innova Council, and Manat is HLS sponsors as well. So it's really kind of a holy trinity in terms of keep the attendees happy with good speakers, which keeps the sponsors happy. But the sponsors, we also push the sponsors to push the attendance by getting word out to their target audience, their mailing list as well. So it's really tied together. It starts with the attendees, but it's really trying to balance everything at the same time.
You know, and one of the things that reading the material, preparing for this, and I'm excited about, is that I understand that you don't have to be a Harvard graduate to attend the event.
You know, that's one of the biggest misconceptions out there, and no matter how many times we go over it, people come up to us and they say, my God, I wish I would have known that I could have attended a few years ago, because I saw the notifications, but I didn't go to Harvard, so I thought it was a closed situation. No, the constituents here are business owners, C-level executives, and C-level aspirants. If you're starting your career, mid-career, if you're not quite at the elite level or where you want to be, as long as you have the ambition and the drive to show up and bring something to the table, be an interested party, bring your best enthusiasm, bring your best effort, you're very welcome as well. But you don't have to go Harvard alumni, but again, we're looking for the right people with the right attitude.
You know, and that's so important. There's a lot of opportunity, but I think that's why the Leadership Series is so successful, the 97% growth, because they have a big tent idea. They're open to nurturing other people, because you can hear the passion that they're both talking about in those focuses. So tell us more about maybe an event. What were you surprised by? Was there ever an event that gave you a surprise or something that you enjoyed?
For me, it's the entire situation. It's taking the idea of an event from nothing, approaching that person, and we're doing extremely well in terms of our approaches versus acceptances. About the only times where we approach somebody and we don't get them is if they have a conflict or a logistical issue. We're approaching these people, working with these people, promoting these people, putting on the event. It's every month it's a new business launch, and to me that's so exciting. And yes, there's some surprises along the way, but overall, I think the most enjoyable thing is just the entire situation of having a brand new business every month, whether it's the John Moorlock event, the Gary Johnson event, the Bill George event. We're taking things from scratch, and 30 days later, we plan more than 30 days out, but essentially, whether it's a month or 3 months, it's a situation where we have a brand new launch, and to me, that's very heartening, month after month.
And so, with all the opportunities that are out there, why should someone attend the events?
Well, we think we're the best value in town. Value is quality, and we've talked about that. We also have these sponsors that we work very, very hard to make sure it's a great value. But independent of the price, independent of everything, it's really the quality of these 2 hours that we put on every month. And we think every individual 2 hours is very worthy. But the more you come, the better off it becomes, because a networking group, if you don't know anyone there, sometimes it can be a little bit lonely. But if you keep coming back month after month, you'll see familiar faces, you'll see new faces. And it's a situation where month after month you become part of the community, and essentially it becomes a regular thing to do, like diet and exercise. And we think that's very exciting. So the real issue is month after month, it's really a discipline in a good way. But we don't think it's like eating your spinach or running 18 miles. We think it's enjoyable along the way.
And the other thing is we're really trying to focus on the learning. We're trying to give people basically learnings that they can use today in their businesses based on topical things that have occurred in the marketplace. Either a person has gone through something relatively recently, like when we had Bill Thompson, or there's changes. We did an event on Obamacare, or we did an event on the new tax law, and we're trying to give people basically the new ideas that are occurring out there right now so they can make decisions about their business that they need to make in the next 5 to 6 months.
Excellent opportunities, and I hope you're writing this down. I hope you contact HLS, because this is the opportunities, but the key thing about opportunities, you have to take action. So make sure you do that. We talk a lot about passion in developing entrepreneurs and groups. So what drove you to be a part of this program?
Well, I really enjoy doing things the right way. I mean, we're really focusing on the fundamentals from the bottom up and the top down as well. And I really enjoy working with John and Mark Wilser and Linda Budiev and some other people that are involved with this series. So really, it's exciting to put this together time after time and keep improving it. I mean, it's a situation where we think it's very good. It was very good before we took it over, and we're looking to take that jump from very good or excellent to great. And we're tough judges, but it's a lot of fun to keep going for it month after month and seeing tangible progress.
There you go, tangible progress. It's all about results, and you can get results by taking action when you have an opportunity like the Leadership Series. So I hope you will take that opportunity and contact them. And in terms of contacting, how do people get a hold of you?
The website, which John Soabley leads, is the best way. That website is www.hbsaoc.org, www.hbsaoc.org. John, would you like to add something?
Yeah, the best way to get information is we do a twice monthly newsletter, and the newsletter basically, the easiest way to get on the newsletter list is basically just to register on the website. You'll see a link, register on it, and you'll get our newsletter, which includes not only the HLS series, but our evening series as well.
There you have it, tools and opportunity, but you have to take action. Thanks so much for being with us today. We know how busy you guys are, and we appreciate taking a chance to be with us here today. And so, what are you going to do differently? Are you going to watch this show and take action? The key is to take action. Thanks for being with us. Dr. John O'Keefe, your breakthrough specialist, and the host of Celebrity Entrepreneur. And remember, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right.